Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're continuing on with those free-to-play tier lists, and we're focusing on the event characters found over in the RECOLLECTIVE archive. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, head over to the RECOLLECTIVE archive and scroll down. Just before Arena, there's actually an event tab. Now, these particular characters are fairly interesting, and there are a little bit of an overlap with these characters and the new Pirate King Adventure shop. So I really want to put these characters into a tier list for you guys. You guys to either prioritize the farm and actually farm them here rather than pick them up in the shop, and which ones are worth your time and your RECOLLECTIVE archive points. With RECOLLECTIVE archive not giving tomes anymore, these particular characters are kind of characters that were just sort of out for events, and now they don't really see too much play. But some of them are fairly good, and if you do need some particular characters for stuff like supports or like particular super type, super class, super tandem criteria, there are some characters here that will fall under that premise. But if you enjoyed the video, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Let me know in the comment section what tier list you guys want to see next. With that said, let's dive in. Let's take a look at the event characters over in the RECOLLECTIVE archive. Alright, so I've got a bunch of tiers here. Nothing too crazy, nothing like out of the ordinary. Top tier is your must farms. They're the ones that you want to prioritize. Awesome. These characters are pretty better than anything you'll find down here. And then you got I guess you could farm these if you really want to. They've got good characters, and you got characters that you just sort of don't bother. So these are the characters. This is like a Zoro, Sanji and a Frankie unit. Just the way that I do these overlays just gets cut off, so it is a little bit of a shame. I don't understand why Bonkichi Brook's here. That's a arena character. Why are you here? You shouldn't be here. Okay. Well, let's start it off with our boy, Mr. Leo. Leo is a don't bother. You're never gonna use this character. Character you don't need, character you don't want. Nobody asked for this character. Just move on. As for this Zoro is actually pretty awesome. He has the ability to remove paralysis and sets defense to 0. 4 turns of paralysis. He's a Zoro powerhouse character, which is actually pretty rare. He was for the rice farming event. Shout out to that Pappy guy for getting first place. But you can definitely pick him up. He's probably one of the better characters from this list. I wouldn't say he's a must farm out of these characters, but he's honestly pretty close. He's going to be great for triggering stuff like super tandems, super types, super classes when you need a Zoro, and if you're running stuff like powerhouse or slasher teams. Slasher not so much, but more the powerhouse centric side of things. This lore is actually pretty good too. I have seen this lore used quite a bit in sort of point farming events in the past, as well as being a cerebral slasher dex character. You could use him on Grand Voyage. I don't know if he's super viable there, but the option and that sort of jumps into my mind for that. As for this Rebecca is really good too. Honestly, I'm going to put the Rebecca here. I'm going to move the Zoro up. I think out of these characters, Zoro is probably a must farm. Rebecca's really good. She gives you color affinity buff, and then you can carry the color affinity buff into the next stage. She has been used on local C monster level 5 because she is a Psi Cerebral as well. So there is an option there. And she also increases the turns of an attack boost if your captain is Psi or Strength. She came out alongside Limited Rare Recruit Lucy. And she's actually a pretty good character. This Burgess, he's just, look, I guess, he's kind of there. He's a chain locker. He doesn't have a limit break, which sort of holds him back so drastically. And 2.5 times chain lock nowadays is actually pretty low. He does have some utility in his kit, though, which is kind of nice. And you can use him to trigger stuff like Blackbeard Super Tandems if you guys need that. But there hasn't ever really been a time where I've gone oh my god, this Burgess has saved my life. And for 60 event points, it's kind of, yeah. He does threshold and damage reduction. That's his utility. So, I guess, he's there. If he had a limit break, he would just be so much better. Next, we got Diamante. Diamante, don't bother with Diamante. He rotates bomb orbs. I think he's an attack booster for strength. That's just something you're never, ever going to need. Ever. Next, we got Otoko. She was for, a sandbag event. Bandai, if you're watching this video, can you bring back those events? They're good fun. You have to do a certain amount of damage to get the particular threshold, and then you could get this character. Shira's bind and damage reduction by 4 turn changes adjacent orbs, including block, into matching. She's a good character. It's not something that I would go crazy over, but she's a good character. If she ever finds that you need this particular character for a super tandem or a final tab or something like that, you could see some plays a free to play option. But for now, she's just good. As for Kuma, like, Kuma's really, really good. Kuma came out alongside Sugar, and is a 30 cost unit, but has double color affinity for characters under a 40 cost. He also removes special button and chain lock multiplier, so he's actually a really good character. But because you're really only using him with Sugar, I'm just going to slap him in the good tier. If you want to farm him up, if you like running Sugar, this is a really good option to have for your account. Alongside this Kuma came a Moria character. So this particular Moria deals 1000 damage to all enemies and then removes paralysis and attack down. This guy is really, really, really good for Garb's Challenge Dofi 1. He's on a 9-turn cooldown. Fixed damage is awesome. Paralysis and attack down is really, really good. He's really good for Whitebeard, the Whitebeard Garb's Challenge. If you guys are struggling with that and you need to get your missions done for quick, this is a character you can farm up. But other than that one area, like, I don't ever use this Moria ever. So he's just a good character. I know what Brook this is meant to be. This is meant to be the Brook from the point farming events. Okay. Well, he's here now, so I'm going to use him. Just be mindful that this Brook is meant to be a different Brook. He came out alongside Halloween Boa and Halloween Perona. And he has a very interesting mechanic where he cuts your HP if it's above 61%. So if you are above 61%, you cut 60% of your HP, which is great at getting around stun. And then he sets the character's special charge to max. He reduces damage by 50%. If you have an attack boost when the special is launched, he boosts Free Spirit and slashes slot effects. Otherwise, he gives you an attack boost. So with this guy, you can be an attack boost and you can be an orb boost. So he's a pretty awesome character. The niche mechanic of getting around stun kind of helps him out. And nowadays, if you use this guy under something like versus Yamato, that 50% damage reduction can actually be a 1.5 times extra attack boost. Just remember though, if you got to this part of the video, this is actually meant to be the Soul King Halloween Musician Brook, not the Arena Bone Kichi. That's my bad. Next we've got, I don't have Sasaki on this list either. No, I'll be back. Alright, so we got the right Brook on the tier list. This is the Brook that we're talking about. Like I said, he was the event point farming character for the Halloween event. This is actually the first character that overlaps with the PKA shop, so definitely don't pick him up in PKA. Make sure to farm him here if you want to pick him up. He's a very good character. Honestly, works great because Free Spirit is so goddamn powerful. And as I said, works great on the versus Yamato if you are using that damage reduction buff. But yeah, just be mindful he's in the PKA shop. Like, don't pick him up then. The next character is Sasaki. Sasaki's another character that is in the PKA shop. And this particular character, honestly, is a must farm for me because he has a very interesting support. And he's a Free Spirit character, which is very strange. He's a must farm here as well because that way you definitely don't have to pick him up in the PKA shop. His support goes on any of the Toby Ropo, including X-Drake. And he gives 30% damage reduction whenever the character uses a special. This can be very powerful if you do have that damage reduction debuff, damage reduction buff, and later down the line, this character will see some pretty cool play. He also removes Despair by 5 turns, changes Free Spirit powers characters' type slots into their own slot, and reduces damage by 25% for 10 turns. So, great for a new player as well, because this can be very, very handy with like keeping you alive. But on top of that, if you have a damage reduction status, he actually gives you a 2x orb boost to Free Spirit and Powerhouse characters. So, 2x orb boost to Free Spirit and Powerhouse is really, really good. And his support is actually really, really nice. I'm going to put Brook up here, actually. Brook, I think, deserves to be at the back end of a must farm. Definitely the back end of a must farm. Just because, like, an attack and an orb boost to Free Spirits, it's kind of not so. Next, we've got the 4 Straw Hat characters. Now, you can get all of these characters by farming the 1 events. So, if you farm the 40 stamina of Regroup Straw Hats, you can actually pick up all 4 of these. However, all of these characters, they're just really, really mid. Like, the Robin and Brook do paralysis and threshold removal. And the downside is they clash with Straw Hats, and obviously there's an abundance of Straw Hats in the game. And you lose 2 of them because they're like fake dual units. I'm going to stick them in I guess. And the reason I'm putting them in I guess is because if you need 1, you get all of them, which is like, I guess that's good. And they have their own limit break shards, which you can pick up from Chopper Man missions. So they will help for the rookie missions if you need to limit break characters. So be mindful of that. They're very easy to max out with limit break, and if you do want to farm them up, look, I guess they're there for you. So just be mindful of that. Next, we go down to the last of the point farming characters that got added to the RECOLLECTIVE archive, and all of these characters as well should be in the PKA shop. I know Jack's there, and I know Linlin's there, but I don't know if Morgan's is. Okay, so Morgan's is not there. Morgan's must have come, like, after or before Sasaki. Yeah, I think, yeah, he definitely did come before Sasaki. Morgan's is pretty good. He has double special activation, and he removes Blind, Despair, and Special Blind by 2 turns, so you can get 4 turns of it. And he rotates orbs and gives you a high chance of landing on them. He was built for Lucci. He's a pretty awesome character. I don't know if I'd say he's a must farm nowadays, just because, like, 4 turns of his utility isn't super, super useful, but he is still a pretty good character. Next, we've got Linlin and Jack. Both of these characters are in PKA shop, so make sure to farm them in the RECOLLECTIVE archive. I can't stress that enough. Farm them in the RECOLLECTIVE archive. Do not pick them up from the PKA shop. We'll start with Jack. Jack, in my opinion, is a must farm. Jack has a really good support that he reduces defense by 50% whenever you use a special on, is it Kaido, King, Queen, and yeah, that's it. So he drastically reduces enemies' defense, so 80%, and then changes the character slot into their own type whenever they use a special. And then he has a 2-stage special that can set all defense to 0, or after, like, on his 2-stage, makes Psi, Int, Recovery, and Tendrils have matching slot effects. And if the enemy has a barrier, he sets the chain multiplier to 3.25 for 3 turns. Otherwise, it's 2.75. This is a really, really good special. 2.75 chain lock is kind of low, but for 3 turns, super handy for, like, speed farming teams and stuff like that. At level 1, he drastically reduces the defense, makes recovery tandem, and then he's only a 1 turn of those chain locking, provided the enemy has a barrier. I really like this Jack. I've used this Jack multiple times as a support. Kaido, King, Queen, obviously getting a lot of love with Anniversary now, and last year's Anniversary. So this Jack is really, really good. Came out alongside CatDog, because obviously, like, the CatDog saga with Jack is, like, so prevalent. But very, very good free-to-play character. I would definitely farm him up. As for Sasaki, I'm going to drop Sasaki down. I don't think Sasaki deserves to be up here. I changed my mind. Sasaki, you can go into awesome. He's an awesome character, but, like, yeah, these characters, they're just way better. I don't know why I had Brooke so low. I apologize about that. Next, we've got Linlin, and Linlin's going to go into must farm as well. Linlin has the ability to remove positive effects, and then she gives Semler slots, Super Bomb slots, and Block Orbs. Now, on paper, that might not sound very good, but there is an interesting mechanic within the game that you can actually abuse this orb roll by closing the app and reopening it to help you guys get some Semler slots. Semler slots, if you guys don't know, are incredibly broken. They're so powerful because they can't be removed by the enemy. So even if you have an ability, and she also gives Wano slots. She gives Semler, Wano, Recovery, and Super Bomb. And Super Bomb nowadays you can use to your advantage. So that is just all good because she rotates Block Orbs. She's also a slot booster by 1.75 and allows you to freely swap slots 2 times. So even if you get a bad roll and you only just need, like, 1 Wano slot to put on a particular character, you are going to be in a really, really good spot there. Removing all beneficial effects can work in your favor as well, because you can get around very low and annoying orb and attack boosts. So that is definitely something that you want to pick up if you do end up getting some very annoying shenanigans like that. But that's going to wrap up the event tier list. Bit of an interesting one, this one. Some interesting characters, but the real reason I wanted to sort of bring this to the light is because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 characters that are definitely in the PKA shop. I haven't really gone through it too much, and I'll do my PKA tier list directly after this. But these characters are the ones you're going to want to farm up, so that way you don't have to spend those green ticket currency in that particular shop. But if you enjoyed the video, build the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think characters should be higher? Do you think characters should be lower? Let me know down there in the comments. Let's have a chat about it. I love talking about this sort of stuff. But most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Late!